Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven development video. I'm picking up where I left off. It is still April 6th for me. And what I was doing when we left off last time was I was continuing to refactor the domain layer's self-renderable objects to use a new interface called render target. I've gone over this a few times already, but just to remind you, the UI can ask domain objects to render themselves. They implement this self-renderable interface. And previously, they just passed in a label. Now I'm passing in a render target, which has the same basic methods on it that I care about. And the reason for this is that it will allow other types of UI components to ask the domain object to render themselves appropriately. So not only can I get a negative values in, not only can I get negative values in red in the table, I can get them up here as well. So that's the plan, that's what I'm working on, and it's just a matter of finishing up that refactoring, so that's what I'm going to do. So we had this working. So that will work. Okay, that failed, probably because we're not actually doing the correct stuff yet. And yes, this is definite duplication here. That's a bad thing, but it's just temporary. I'm going to delete these duplicate methods. Okay, so that worked. I wonder if we still need to do this detailed assert equals. Probably, I don't know. Let's see. I think we had to do it before because they weren't actually the same reference, but now I believe they are. So, does that work? No, it doesn't. Yeah, they are still not exactly the same. Okay, so we'll go ahead and keep this existing code. Okay, so I think that just leaves us with this last one. Still not sure about that class name. I do like having those classes sort at the top, but I have to admit I don't usually do it for stubs. As I said in the last episode, I don't use stubs very often. Maybe I should break down and get one of those mocking libraries. Had pretty good results with Mockito. But even the best of them, they're slow to run because they do so much reflection, and they're not. They still take more setup than this does. Although the Mockito is excellent. It's one of the best I've seen. Okay, so there we go, and I can also say target.text equals foodle. And target.tool tip text equals bogus tooltip. Interesting. It looks like I've left something important out of my test here. Oh, not really. I'll go ahead and... Yeah, don't need that. That's redundant, but that means that's redundant. Okay, so there we go. So now that I've got valid dollars and invalid dollars using the new rendering system, now all I need to do is have the UI use the new rendering system. So it's, I believe it is forecast table that's using it. Yeah. And I'm passing in this. What I need to do is I need to create a little adapter which will translate the label to appropriate. Well, I'm not all here, so I can't explain it, but I just need to translate. So label render target. Is going to implement render target. Now there's some wonkiness here in terms of the self-renderable interface and the render target interface. Which package should they live in? I don't know. Again, this is something that we can always revisit at a later date. So I'll get that label in there. I'm not writing tests around this because this code should already be tested. You know, I really wish I had a pairing partner right now, because this is the kind of thing that I've mentioned before, that I tend to overcomplicate things, and I wonder if I'm doing that here. Okay, so there's our label render target. Should be able to just pass that on through. That may fail. Oh, look at that. We got unreachable code exception. Because we're no longer, yeah, that's perfect. That should now pass. Great. Okay, I think I have pretty much everything working. So now I'm going to delete this and follow the compile errors. Oh, there aren't any. Well, that's a good sign. So we don't need this anymore. And in valid dollars, we don't need this anymore. And in invalid dollars, we don't need that anymore. All right, we've successfully refactored away from the label and to the render target interface, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, let's take a second look at forecast table. How does this look? I think I would like label render target to be a public, just a regular class. That's something I could see having broad usability or broad usage. So let's go ahead and convert, move type to new file. I thought I did. Move type to new file? No. I don't understand how this refactoring is supposed to work. Let's try it again. Refactor, move type to new file. Okay, that looks like it's going to work. It made our label render target. Yeah, that should be good. Do our tests still pass? Yep. Okay, so there we have it. And I am pretty confident that this still works, but let's just take a quick look. Yep, everything is still there. So yeah, I think we're good. So next up, we want to actually render the negative dollars as red. Now this is going to be quite easy, actually. Now that we've laid this groundwork, we just need a different label render target. Well, we need a different render target. We need a text field render target. So let's go ahead and move this render target class back to the UI. And organize our imports. That should work just fine. Makes sense to me that self-renderable would be for domain objects, render target would be for UI. So, and let's rename this to label render target adapter, because that's what it is. It's wrapping a label to make it look like a render target. All right, so for the text field, making this into a render target should be really trivial. We'll just, rather than saying, when we lose our focus, rather than saying dollars to string, we'll just tell dollars to render itself. That should be really, really slick. We won't have, and that will allow us to get rid of this nasty dollars.isValid, which is awesome. So and maybe we can get rid of that method altogether, which means that we can stop poking around in the internals of the way our dollars class tree is implemented. So yeah, this is starting to feel really good. I'm liking where this is going. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll pick this up next time, and I will see you then.